Hello, everybody. My name is Kim Ross-Hollingsworth, and I am the founder of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza and Book Builders Academy, where we provide a platform for artists and authors to showcase and sell their work. Also, we teach new and current authors how to write, publish, and market their books. And tonight, with the Arts and Authors Talk podcast, we have Derrick Billups that will be joining us. And welcome, Derrick. How are you tonight?
Kimmy, how are you? Thank you for
Good.
inviting me.
Oh, well, welcome. And I'm glad you're here. And with tonight's episode, Arts and Authors Talk, we invited you on so that you can share what you know about finance, fitness, and health, and also your author life. And would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, again, I'm Derrick Billups. I've written two books, but I'm a former teacher, coach, financial advisor. I've been a financial advisor for over 30 years, and I do a lot of work. I'm also the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club of Chester. So I do a lot of work with youth, and in that whole atmosphere, I do a lot of work in reference to teaching about finance and money management and budgeting and all those things. But again, I've spent my entire life now working around adults and children and helping people, and that's what's important to me. And so that's what I've always done, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Excellent. Well, I just want to go back a little bit. So the first time we met was at the Arts and Authors Extravaganza. And I don't know if you can, you know, tell us like how many years ago that was, but do you have an inkling about how many years ago it was?
Well, I don't know how many years it was ago, but I don't think that's the first time we met. I think the first time we met was at one of those parking lot book signing, book shows or
Oh,
whatever.
I remember. It
Yeah,
was
I
with
think.
Ronnie C. Dawson's event. We were at a church event. It was in the parking lot over in where is
Blackwood.
that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what it was.
That's where
Yeah,
we met the
that's where
first
we
time.
actually met. Yep. And then you had the extravaganza, and then I came on board and obviously supported that. Awesome. And so that's been quite a few years. I don't know, 7, 8 years. I don't know how long ago it's been a minute, maybe even
It's
longer
been
than
a
that. It's been a minute.
minute.
Yeah, it's
And
it's
you've
been a minute.
attended, I would say, like maybe 3 or 4 arts and authors.
Yeah,
If
and I,
not,
I wanted I wanted to attend last year. I even paid, and then for
yes, you
some
did.
emergency came up, and I couldn't attend.
And
But
you can attend this year if you wanted to,
yeah, I
because
am.
you already paid.
Well, I didn't say it for that reason. I was just saying that
I
my
know.
my intentions was to come, and that's why I paid. That's what you got to do. If you want to
Yes,
come, you got to
it
pay.
was. Yes.
Yeah,
And
and
we love, and you know what? I think the last time you were supposed to come out, you were actually supposed to do a breakout session for us.
yes, yes.
So and I believe that was with one of your partners that you were working with at the time. And I don't know if you're still working with them, but can you explain a little bit what you were going to do? And I don't know if that's still something that you're doing now,
I'm
but can you
always
tell
doing
us
it.
a little bit?
Yes, I mean the reality of the matter is, Kimberly, part of what I do is I educate people, and I think during the breakout, what we were going to do is go through a real session of how to take the 10 steps of how people not only can save and manage money, but we were just going to do some basic, my books, and that's the good thing I believe about my books. They're very simplistic. They were designed for anybody can use it, whether it be a novice in terms of finance, even someone that's real experience in finance. But it was designed to help people to take a real intricate look at where they are and how they manage themselves and manage their finances. But it also is very simplistic. Is a lot, and again, I'm a former teacher, a former special education teacher. So I like to break things down very simple. And that's what these books do. They break things down very simple for anyone and everyone. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, I think that's what you wanted me to do is to take
Yes.
time in a breakout session to have everyone. I mean, there's so many different things, everything from credit to to budgeting, to actual financing, to investing, to all of those things. So, I mean, I don't want to bore everyone with that, but there's so many avenues that I address, but I do it in a very simplistic manner so that
Exactly.
anyone can pick it up and do it. And then once you want to get more intensive or extensive into your investing, then maybe you move on to another book, you move on to another person or something of that nature. But this is designed to get you started, to make sure you understand. And the breakout session was about
Yeah.
that, understanding how to budget, how to manage it, how to manage things on a basic level, all of those kinds of things. And so that's what I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a couple years ago. I think that's what you wanted me to do at the time.
Well, I appreciate that because one thing that I do love, and that's finances. I
Okay.
love learning about finances. I love money. I love everything there is about investing. I love stocks. Your book is a great book. And I do have that book. That was one of your first books that you came out with. Now, um, uh, tell us a little bit about that book and how many books do you have currently?
I have 2 books currently, and I'm working on my third. Okay. And so the first book is Changing Your Condition, Not Your Position. And
Exactly.
again, it's about, your position is more of a physical thing. How you sit in the chair, how you look, how you position yourself, but that's more physical. Condition is a way of life. And that's what the whole book was about in the beginning, or is about, still is about. And the funny thing is, Kim, I still get a lot of sales online just by,
Exactly. I believe it.
yeah, I still get a lot of sales online because it's a very simplistic book. But again, changing your condition, not your position, was
Yes.
more about understanding the position being, a physical state, and your condition being really a mental state. And then
Exactly.
that's what again, very simple. I keep using that word because that's really important to me. Because what happens is most people get away from finances because a lot of people just don't understand it.
They don't
But like
understand.
most things, if we're able to break it down into its simplest forms, then people can then get involved in it. And then as you get more educated, then you can do more things. Then you can get more sophisticated and get more involved and so forth and so on. But for the most part, and most of us are not taught that in our homes. Our parents
Exactly.
don't teach it. Really don't teach it. Schools really don't teach it. College doesn't teach it. So it's
Yep.
something that you have to learn as you become an adult, and you have to go through it, and to get through it, and then you learn, and then at that particular time, that's how you get better. And that's all. The first book
I
was
agree.
really designed to do that.
Yep. I definitely agree that we do need to teach ourselves because, like you said, a lot of times, like especially in the Black industry, culture, we're not taught
Right.
how to, deal with finances and, how to save money, how to even invest money. Most of the time we're taught like to play the lottery or
Right.
something, and that's how you're going to get, rich or something like that. But people don't realize if you invest your money, you can earn a lot more. You'll get a lot back in return. What is that? The
Yes.
ROI?
Yes. Yes.
Your return on investment.
Right.
And it's like a lot of people don't realize that, that get rich quick scheme is not always the way to go, and
No.
your
No.
books help us with that.
Right. And I mean, I think, Kim, it goes everything from the basic life insurance to car
Exactly.
insurance to
That's a big
disability
one right
insurance.
there.
I mean, these are things that, people just don't look at, and they don't consider it as a part of your financial your financial makeup. They don't see that. They don't see life
Exactly.
insurances or disability. That's all a part of that.
And not
And that's
only
what the
that,
book
our
does. It talks about.
wills are, like your wills,
Right.
it's not to say that you're going, we don't know when we're going to leave this earth.
Right.
So it's always a good idea to just have those steps in order, have everything planned out for us before we get to that state where we can't,
Right.
do anything. Life insurance, and like you said, as far as like the, sometimes we get confused on whether to get term life or whole life or, so reading your books will help a lot of us determine what we need and what we should set up and plan for like retirement.
Well, the one thing about the books, they all talk about building a team, building a financial team, because
Yes,
no one person has all the answers. But if you
exactly.
build a team, if you build a financial advisor, insurance agent, an attorney, an accountant, those kinds of people, those kinds of professionals that are
Exactly.
professionals that can
Exactly.
help you through it. And that's what it's all about, is building a team. I mean, it's like what you do with the authors and art, the whole
Yes,
extravaganza. People come, they have different books on different topics. All of those things that people can come in and they can find a book on a topic that they may be interested in at that particular time
exactly.
from people who have experience in it. And that's all the book is doing, is saying, put yourself together, surround yourself with the right kinds of people that can answer those
That's
questions
right.
for you, that can
I
get you what
agree.
you need. Yeah.
I agree. Well, I like the fact that you have those books. What was your second book about? Like, was that a finance book as well,
Yeah,
or?
all my books will be a level of finance. The second one was, are you making a living or making a life? Okay.
Mhm.
And what it was taught, what that means, what the title means is, the, anyone can make a living. I
Yep.
mean, I hate to say it in this manner, but the homeless person out there, they're living, they're making a living, they're doing what they have to do. I mean, people who live paycheck to paycheck every day, that's making a living. But how do you make a life for you and your family? How do you
Exactly.
make a life? And making a life is about structure, financial structure, and those structures become managing money properly, being organized, all of those kinds of things, having a team. And that's, we just get a little more in depth in this book. We just get a little more in depth, keeping it simple again, but getting a lot more in depth, but still keeping it simple. And so, and
Exactly.
that's kind of where this book takes us. And so it just piggybacks off the first book and moves into the second book. And then the third book will do a little more in terms of just going a little further, getting a little more intense, and just being a lot more advanced in what we need to be doing. If you read the
Exactly.
first book, you should be at a certain level. You read the second book, you should be at another level, and then the third. Everything's about progression, Kim.
Oh,
Right? Everything's about progression. You don't stay stagnant. You don't stay in the
exactly.
same position. And that's what I'm saying. The position is physical, but the condition is more of a state of mind. And that's why you got to continue moving forward. And that's what this is all about.
Well, I like that. And I'm glad you put those books out there, because a lot of us, we really, really do need to, as you say, position ourselves for our finances,
Yeah.
set ourselves up for retirement. And like, the older that I get, I definitely, like, as far as my 401k and everything like that, you have to have these things in place, especially once you reach a certain age. And then not only that, I believe the younger you are, the more, it, the better you'll be as far
Yes.
as positioning yourself. So
Yes.
if you can start off in your, I'm just going to throw this number out there, the 20s. If you can start out in your 20s, you will be well off by the time you reach my age.
Well, not only that, but if you start off early, then you
Hmm.
don't have to save as much in order to
Exactly.
accumulate as much. See,
Exactly.
as we get older, we don't have as much time in
Yeah.
terms of before we actually retire. I'm not talking about passing away. I'm talking about before we
Right.
retire. So the older
Exactly.
you get, the more you have to invest in
We
order
have
to
to invest
accumulate.
more. Yes.
Okay, but the younger you are, you don't, because you have time.
Yes.
You have time. So if I only have 10 years before I retire, I have to put a lot more money in. But if
Yes,
I've
we
got
do.
40 years before I retire, I don't have to put as much money in,
That's
because
right.
it starts to accumulate, it starts to, gain interest, compounding, all of those things that happen over time, that when you
Exactly.
get older, you don't have that time.
That's right.
You don't have that time. And that's why, I mean, today, even though what I do with the Boys and Girls Club, but I'm saying I still have a ton of clients that I work with. I still have a ton of people who call me when they retire. I work with them to retire and get
Mm.
rollovers and all that kind of stuff. So I still help them. And one of the things I say to people as they get our age or get a little older is, um, you're more interested in the return of your money, not
Yes.
the return on your money. See, when you're younger,
Mm.
you're more interested in the return on your money. Well,
Mm.
that means that the longer I want a higher return. But when we get ready to retire, we're more interested in the return of our money. Meaning, when I want my money, my money better be there.
Exactly.
I'm not interested in the interest rate anymore. I'm interested in I've worked, I've done what I've done, I built this up. Now when I want to take some money out, it darn well better be there. Okay.
That's right.
That's the return of my money. When you're younger, because you have so much time, your interest is the return on my money.
Yes.
So there's a difference between on my money and of my money.
That's
Okay.
right.
And there's a big difference inside.
It is
And
a
that's
big
what I
difference.
tell all the time as they get older.
I agree. And not only that, I just find that, and I like the fact that you're teaching the younger generation, because
Absolutely.
those are the ones that need it. They're the ones who, like you said, if you start out at a younger age, you'll have a better chance of retirement and saving more and doing what you have to do to put those steps into place.
Correct.
Whereas, the older we get, it's a lot harder, but it still can be done.
Right.
But a lot of us, even my age, don't even know half of the things that we need to know at this, particular age, like with our money. So, that's why I wanted you to come out to the Arts and Authors Extravaganza, so that you can teach some of us, because there is a lot to learn when it comes to your finances. And I just feel like, if we had a professional in here, that we can learn the proper steps.
Right.
So
You shouldn't skip steps. And that's the problem. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got big cheese and you have it, then you can skip some steps. You know what I mean? Or, if you're saying, hey, listen, you want to take some chances somewhere. But I'm saying the real idea, the concept of building. And like I'm saying, having things like life insurance and disability, just all of those things, the wills, all of those things you need to have in place. You can still invest and make that money. You can still invest and become a millionaire. You can still do all of those things. I'm not saying you don't do those things. I'm saying, but you got to have the old saying what our parents used to say, you got to have your ducks in a row.
Your ducks in order.
That's right.
Not to say that.
Yeah, you got to have
those ducks in order.
So you can do all that thing. You can do all those things, and while we're chasing our dreams and going after our dreams, I can say chasing, but going after our dreams. The problem sometimes with dreams is most of the time dreams happen when you sleep.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So when you're up, you got to be able to understand. You got to have things in place when you're up. When you sleep, you wake up and you're like, oh, now what do I do about that? And that's what we want to do. We want to be, from a financial standpoint, is just to help people be basic. I mean, just really, really, really. And I'll tell you this, and I'll be frank with you, Ken. I prayed about when I wrote my first book. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my wife. I didn't tell my kids. I didn't tell my brother-in-law, who happens to be my pastor. I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell anybody.
Wow.
Because it was on my heart to do, and I needed to do it the way I wanted to do it, and I didn't want any input from anybody. I mean, other than input, how to put the book together and all that. You need that professional help.
That's right.
But in terms of the content, I didn't want any help. I had been already in the business over 20 years.
Right.
I knew what I wanted to put in the book. I knew what my heart was. So I didn't need anybody telling me anything. And more importantly, I didn't want any negativity coming at my way.
That's right.
So that's how I approached it.
Well, I love that first book, and some of the practices in that book is something that it's timeless. I mean, you can really continue to use that book for many years, and that's one of the things that I like about your first book. I haven't received your second one yet, but I definitely, like you said, it's positioning you, and it's taking you through steps. So I definitely would like to get that book too, so that I can see what next steps, if I haven't done them already, I need to do.
Well, and you know what? And the good thing about it is, Kim, even if you've not done that, then you can gift it to somebody. You can sow a seed into somebody else's life. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And I think one of the most important things for me too with the books were they're actually workbooks. They're books, but they can be workbooks, because you can write in them, you can do what you need to do in them, and you can keep them that way. And that's what I love them too, is because they're actually tangible.
Yeah.
They're not just something that you read and put away. They're tangible. I can use it. I can write in it. I can keep it as a book that I can pull every month and look at it if I want.
Exactly.
There's a budget in it, and of course that change. Now, if you write in it with a pen or something like that, then is pretty much it.
You can't
But
use it.
you can utilize this like a like a workbook. And
guide.
that's one of the things I wanted to do as well.
Yes. Well, if anyone's listening, we will definitely have Derrick's information to where you can purchase his books at the bottom in the comment section, and also his links to where you can find out more information about him and or hire him to, teach you some of these things if you don't know them already. And most of the time, we think we know everything. There's still so much more to find out. So much more. So,
even with me.
Listen, I agree with that. Yeah. But we definitely will have the information, in the link so that you can get in touch with Derrick. And your social media handles, we'll have those at the bottom as well.
Yes.
And so you said that you're in the middle of writing another book. Is that correct?
I'm not in the middle. I'm in the beginning stages of it.
Stages.
I'm in the beginning stages of it. It took me a while to come up with the name that the title of the book. Again, I took some time and it it came to me, and and I'm ready for that now with the title. And then from that title, I move with content. And because I already have a lot of content, not just from my actual work, as a financial advisor, but then my life experience, my mistakes, even being in this business, I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. Okay. And so those things are probably just as valuable to me in my books than my actual knowledge in my education in financial advising. So I think for me, I combine both of them, my actual education in it, and then my actual life experience in the mistakes that I made. And so I think I'll bring both of them together. I think that's going to be a part of the new book and where it is. And so I'm itching to tell you the title, but I don't want to tell you the title.
Okay, listen, save it for it because we will hear it in due time.
That's right, in due time. Yeah.
We will definitely hear it in due time. Now, the Arts and Authors is going to be August 21st of this year, and it's going to be at the Crown Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So that information will be at the bottom as well. And we hope to see you there. And if you do come, we would like to hear a little bit more about what your books are about, as far as finance, because right now I don't believe we have anyone that's have any finance books. And now, can you do me a favor? Can you explain to me what you mean by finance and fitness?
Well, I mean, just like fitness itself, I mean, the one. Let me. And here's the funny thing: my son is a big time fitness person in
I know. I think you told me about that.
In Nashville.
Yes.
Yeah. So fitness is about a process.
Yes.
Okay. Fitness is about a process. How you eat, the way you eat, when you eat, exercising, all of those kinds of things. It's a process. And it's something that you do every single day. Well, financial fitness is the same way. It's something that you have to do and manage every single day. And that's what I talk about financial fitness, is always doing something that helps you stay prepared, stay ready, and in a position, okay, so that physically now, so you can get yourself in the mental state, which is your condition. So the reality of the matter, what we're doing is with financial fitness is all about continually having something every single day, because it is a process. And us in this area of Philadelphia, we know the Sixers, it was a process for them beating them now, right? So now that's what financial fitness is. It's all about a process. It's something that you have to do every single day, so that, hey, listen, those people, all of us, I mean, we want to be healthy. We want to eat healthy. We want to work out. We want to do this. It gets a little harder as we get older. It gets a little harder, but we continue to do what we can. But we do it.
Yes, we do.
We do it. Well, it's the same thing with financial fitness. And that's all I want to do. All I want to do is help people to become in words, and not to be redundant, to be financially fit in their lives. And all this book, and these books are just one step, Kim. Don't
Yeah.
misunderstand what I'm saying at all. This is not the end of all. This is just a step again in your process. That's all this is. And I'm okay with that. Okay, because I
Yeah.
don't have all the answers. Okay, everybody's situation is different.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
everybody's situation is different. Whether they're married, single, children, without children, children in college, it doesn't make a difference. Even if your situation is the same in the structure, your financial situation is different.
That's
And
so
so
true.
that's what we do. We just want to make sure that, Kim, that this is not. I don't want to pretend as if this is the answers to everything. It's a part of your process, and that's what I think is important that everyone takes from this. That what we do and what I do in terms of my book and my information is that it's a part of everything. It's not the end all. And so I'm always excited about helping people. So I hope at the extravaganza you'll allow me to be a part of that some kind of way, maybe have a small breakout session, whatever it may be. I'm interested in getting involved in that again. I love to come. And if not, I'll just have a table, sell my books, and then I'll be good with that.
Uh, I'm back, but I don't know what just happened.
I don't know, but that's all right. I kept talking. Did you hear me?
My husband could.
Yeah, I keep talking. I don't listen. I keep talking like I'm the host. I keep going for you, Kim. I keep.
Oh, he said it's a windstorm out there. Listen,
Oh, it is a wish.
I do- I'm like, what the heck? I said I lost everything. I can't listen.
Listen, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. You just got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. That's all, Kim.
And he has you on the iPad, and I can hear you still talking. He was like, Kim, just sign back in. Listen, I just go with the flow.
Yeah, just go with the flow. We can make
I'm
it do.
trying to
Yeah, we
learn
make
this
it do what
thing.
it do. Yeah, but like I said, I want to be a part of it. I'm coming again.
Yay.
I'm gonna. It's on my I saw that. I was on my calendar. So you need to. You've got all my information. So you need to just put me down.
I'm going to put you
Yeah,
down.
I am not
But
filling
just
out no application and nothing. Put me down. I'm
no,
already.
no,
I'm
never that,
already
never that.
down. So your
Because
husband
I
is on,
think
right? So your husband is hearing this. So I'm gonna go back to
that's
him if I have
right.
to.
I just feel as though some things are definitely needed. And why do it seem like this is so much better than last time? Before, to me, it was choppy. I don't
Yes,
know
it
what's
is.
going on.
Right.
But what's meant to be heard is going to be heard.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's what that's how I feel, and that's what I know. But we need and I like with the arts and authors, I like to have different categories. I
Yes.
like to have different things that people can learn from. And I like to have different books. And I know for a fact fitness and health is something that is definitely needed, especially in our communities.
Yes.
It's definitely something that's needed.
Yes.
And that's why I definitely want you to come back to share what you know with us.
I'll be there.
And thank you. Now, it was something else I had to ask you before I got all sidetracked. But but what other than your book that you have coming out, what other things are you working on? Because I haven't seen you in a few years
I know.
and I need to catch up.
Right.
So, what have you been up to? What have you been doing within this time frame? And I know 2020 was a doozy of a year,
Right.
but tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since.
Well, I mean, as I said earlier, I'm a former teacher, and of course, I've been in the insurance and financial services business for almost 30 years now. And I continue to do some workshops. I continue to do some book signings. So I continue to sell my book online. And I just continued to push it. I just felt as though I had thought earlier, a year or two ago, that I wanted to write another book. And I said,
Yes.
well, hold on. I don't think these books have even gotten out the way they should.
Mhm.
Okay. And so I was working to continue to push my book. And then, I don't know if you remember, I was a tennis player. And so I
Yes.
played a lot of tennis, and I started getting involved with the Arthur Ashe Foundation out of Philadelphia,
Oh, really?
and still teaching tennis and part-time, evening time, and all that kind of good stuff. And then there was an opportunity that came, and they asked me to come on and work with the foundation and organization. And so I did that, and then was helping in Camden and Chester and teaching tennis and the school district and the Boys and Girls Club and all kinds of stuff. And just doing all kinds of stuff, and usually in the afternoon, evening times, summertime, just doing it, still doing my business though.
Yes.
And then, sister that I'm friends with was the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club of Chester. And
Yes.
she came to me and said, would you be interested in applying for the position? I said, no, I'm good. I'm doing my business. I'm already doing the stuff over here at the Arthur Ashe Foundation, which is legacy. I'm
Yes.
already doing that, and I'm good. And she was very persistent. And I know the good work that they're doing here, and they were doing
Yeah.
here. And I said, you know what? I'll apply if you think that, this is what you think is needed there, and you think the board would want me, then I'll give it a shot. And right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm right now the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club of Chester. We started a new tennis
Wow.
program here in the city of Chester, working with these youth and these kids in Chester. And so I'm able
Uh-huh.
to still pull back and push back and give back to the community of
Yeah.
Chester and the kids here. So I'm excited about it. It took a little while for me to think about doing it because of, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, I'm a
Hmm.
businessman at heart. So to stop and almost stop, or put it on, don't say stop, to pause it somewhat
Yes.
and to do this and to, be almost, it's not 9 to 5, but
Right.
technically it's 9 to 5. But of course, as the executive director, I'm always out. I'm always
Always.
meeting people, always trying to fundraise, always, worrying about programming and all those kinds of things. I have a great staff. And so that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing now. And I'm
Mhm.
doing that. I put my business on pause for a little bit. But I've been in that business so long that it would take me another 30 years to lose all the stuff that I know. So I'm not
Right.
worried about that, you know.
Exactly.
And I do a lot of work, always do some workshops for my church, and I
Hmm.
still go out a little. Obviously, I haven't been out lately because of the last year or two because of COVID,
Right.
but I did some webinars. So I still stay fresh. And like I said earlier, I've got quite a few clients that there's always 7, 8, 9, 10 people when they retire from the school district, whatever, call me, and I set them up and do their 401ks or to do their rollovers. I mean, do their
Yeah.
rollovers and stuff. And so I generate a good bit of dollars that way as well. So I'm still
Uh-huh.
very much in the business. I'm still very much in the business.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes. Now, do you have your own company or your own
Yes.
business?
Yes, it's the Foundation for Financial Fitness Incorporated, and
Yes.
so it's a nonprofit actually, and again, it's designed to educate.
And
It's
that
designed to give
information
information.
we will definitely have that information at the bottom of
Yep,
the video too,
yep.
so that
It's
if
the, you know, it's
anyone is
we have a website and all that good stuff as well. Yep,
yes, and the website and everything.
yep.
Um, what I decided to do now is instead of me having the podcast live on Facebook, I decided to have it air live just on Anchor, Spotify, Google Play, and also YouTube, so
Wow,
that more people can subscribe to the YouTube channel.
wow.
Because what I was finding is that a lot of people were watching it on the live and wasn't coming over to YouTube. So
Okay,
I need for people to come over to the YouTube channel because that is what's expanding us.
great,
And
great.
as much as I wanted to keep it on Facebook, um, it wasn't benefiting me
Right.
as much as I needed for it to do. So um but we are still, airing it on Anchor and Spotify and everything. So it's going to be, still the live radio.
Okay.
And which I appreciate you for coming on, because I get a chance to meet, and not only meet you because I've already met, you for years, but it's to dig a little bit deeper into what you do and how you do it. Because a lot of times, I don't get a chance to go around to everyone at the Arts and Authors Extravaganza like I want to. So this is a chance for me to dig a little bit deeper into the minds of the artists and the authors.
And remember, when we were there, we were sitting there in the church's parking lot, or it was not only the church's parking lot, but it was a parking lot. I think it was off of Black Horse Pike,
It was.
Pike. Yeah,
Yep.
something was right there.
Oh,
And at
you
that
know what?
point,
We were over by Veterans Park, I believe it was. Wasn't
yes. And then you had your daughter and your mom was with you,
Yep,
and
it
your
was.
daughter, and we had a great time there. So
I remember but you know what? One thing I like about us getting together, the networking is phenomenal. We
Right.
always have a great time when it comes to the networking. And for some reason, this author clique, like, it's very, very small. Like it's a large group, but we all stick together, and it keeps going around and around. And that's what I really enjoy about it. And that's why I keep doing it almost 11 years down the line.
That's right.
Because it's always interesting to meet different people and what they're doing, and to see why and what motivates them to continue to do what they do. Correct. And that's why I'm doing this podcast, because a lot of people would have told us, oh, well, you fell off, or you're doing something different, but we've been consistently, Derrick, doing this thing for many years.
Many years. That's right. That's right.
And
there was one year that I missed. Yeah, there was one year that I missed, and I was angry because I was like, and even almost missed. Well, I missed last year, but not because.
You know what? I think the last year you came out was when we were at the convention center.
Convention center. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We were at the convention center.
2018, maybe 17. 2017.
Yeah, and I remember missing one for maybe the next year or something.
Yep.
And I was angry.
We tried to take a little break, and we took a step back. We went over to the Supper Club in Turnersville.
Okay, I wasn't there. Yeah, I wasn't there.
And that was a small spot, but it was something just to keep us going.
Right.
Just to keep us going, because from the convention center, it wasn't a convenient spot for us. A lot of people couldn't find parking.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't convenient. Right. And then a lot of our guests couldn't come over because of parking and so forth. And it's a nice place, but it just wasn't convenient.
Right.
So
I could see that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. If it was something a lot bigger, then I guess it would be okay. But it just wasn't convenient for us. So we went to the Supper Club, and of course the Supper Club was way too small.
Small.
So we found our home now over at the Crown Plaza in Cherry Hill. So we've been there for a few years, and we're loving it. We love the space. It's still very, very nice, and it's still classy, because I like to have it a little classy.
Well, Kim, weren't you at, before the convention center? You were at in Voorhees, wasn't it? It was a Voorhees.
We were at the mansion, but
mansion.
Yeah, but the mansion, we grew out of the mansion because it was too small. The largest we took up. So we would fit like about 70 vendors in there.
Yeah. You was squeezing us in there.
Yeah, but it was just too small, but a beautiful facility. We really loved the place, but we just couldn't, stay there. So now at the Crown Plaza, we have a lot of space, and even if we outgrow that location, we still have the huge ballroom. So so we have a lot of space at the Crown Plaza, and I'm not trying to outgrow that location. So, I would say at the maximum, 100 vendors will be enough for us, at one given time.
Right.
Because this is like the largest event of the year, and I'm not trying to have it more than 100 vendors at all. It's just a lot.
Well, let's get it going. Count me in. I will definitely be there. I'm definitely going to be there. I put it on my calendar, so and I'm ready to go. And so I know it's a little while from here, but
yes,
I'm excited.
We have so many people signed up already.
Do you? Great.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Great.
The only thing is, trying to get people to send their bios and their photos in.
Right.
But a lot of people don't need it. I mean, either they're slacking or they just don't want people to know that they're going to be there yet. I don't know what's going on. So we need them to send those bios. If you're listening, we need you to send those bios in. We need you to send those photos in so that we can just, put it out there that you're going to be attending, so that I always say, and this is what people don't realize, your networking starts the minute you decide to sign up for an event.
That's right.
So if you don't put your information out there, how is anybody going to know that you're even going to be there?
That's right. That's right.
You can sell books before you even attend the event. You can get connections or clients before you even get there.
That's right.
But people do not realize that your networking, just like when you're writing a book, your advertisement and your marketing start the minute you start writing that book. So you can get pre-sales before you even put your book out.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So
that's real. That's real word. That's great word. That's it. Yeah.
So this is some things that we teach with the Book Builders Academy, because I started the online school during the pandemic, the 2020 pandemic. And these are some of the things we teach as far as marketing is concerned. The networking, coming out to the events. We know that you may not sell a ton of books at the event. One person cannot possibly walk around to every single person and buy something from them
right
the event. But by you getting on stage and telling everybody about your book or what you do, they may not purchase or buy anything from you that day, but they know about you and they may buy something from you down the line. But they won't know unless you come to the event and, exposure yourself. Exposure is key.
Well, they don't know if you don't show.
That's
that's
they don't know if you don't show. You know how I feel about quotes.
Right. And that's it. I mean, and
that's right.
Yeah, and that goes both.
You don't show.
That's right, and that goes both ways. If you do something wrong, a lot of times people don't know that if you don't show them. So if they don't know if you don't show, and that's it.
True. So that's what this Arts and Authors is about. I didn't know we'll be going 11 years strong, but we're going to be celebrating our 11th year. And
you took a lot of money from me over these past 6 days.
I think I took a lot from her.
So yeah. And here's the funny thing. When I sent, you gave me a check, you was like, Derrick, there's only 2 spots left for something, right? So I was like, all right, cool. This was last year. And I sent it in. And as soon as I sent it in or pushed whatever I pushed, the credit card, whatever it was.
Yes.
The next day, I found that I couldn't come.
Yep. You sure did.
I didn't even say, I wasn't like, I was like, it is what it is. That's what I'm supposed to do. It is what it is.
And I remember you saying you said donate it to someone else, or you said do something.
Yeah, do something.
Not doing that. It's still available to you.
God is good. God is good. No, but because I knew, listen, I understand the process in doing this.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been with you for a while and done them. I understand it. You know, I
Exactly.
understand what it takes to put the energy, the time, the effort, your
Yes.
family, you know, all that stuff to put through
A
it. And
lot of work.
so, you know, I mean, you know, whatever it cost, I couldn't remember what it cost me. It did hurt my pocket. I was just did hurt my pocket a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not no baller like that. I
Don't
know your
listen
husband
to
listens, but I ain't no
people.
baller, sir. You know what I mean? Like that. So, but it is what it was what it was, you know,
Yes. Well,
and
it's
that's how it
still
was.
available to you, just so you know.
Well,
So
sign
you
me up
see what you
today.
have to offer.
Yes, sign me up today, and so let's go. I'm down because I'm
Well,
coming.
I
I'm
already
I'm,
got
I'm
your
good.
photo, so I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, use
And I
that
already
one.
got your bio, so I will be using that one.
Use that. Yeah, I'm coming.
And
I'm there for sure.
yes, well, I appreciate it.
Yep.
And just so you know, the magazine, we have the Arts and Authors magazine now. So you
Wow.
will be featured in the Arts and Authors magazine,
Wow, that's hot.
just like all the other
Yes.
artists and authors that come on the show. And our last submission for that is March 16th. So anyone who is interested in being in the magazine, like with the article and so forth, they have until the 16th to submit their information, and that's to the arts and authors at yahoo.com. And we're just so proud of where the arts and authors has taken us, and we're so honored to have people like yourself that are still following us after all these years, you know because like I said, some people thought I was going to fall off long time ago, but we're still kicking.
Yeah, yeah. It is what it is, and you do what you do. You keep it moving, and
Yeah,
you know, and that's it. I mean, it's you said it earlier. It's a small group.
it
It's a
is.
small group, and those people that think you're gonna fall off are not a part of that group. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? It's just not. You know, and so you just keep doing what you're doing. And there's young men and women that come up every single day that need they need your knowledge.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? And you should just continue to give it to them. You know what I mean? You should and not give it to them. You know, they need to pay for it. You know what I mean? I give it to them, but you still
You
need
got it.
they need to because they need to understand that if they want to move to the next level, they need to get that wisdom. You know
Yes.
what I mean? They need to get that wisdom, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you're giving them every year is a great venue to
Yes.
display it. There's a
I
great
agree.
venue to display it, and so I enjoyed myself there. I enjoyed myself. I,
No,
you
I
know,
think.
I a lot of time to be and I was to close for me on this. I would spend more money sometimes than I would make
Yes.
because I'd be walking around buying other people's books to support
Exactly.
them.
Exactly.
And then I go home and say, well, Dad, I sold 10 books, but I hadn't spent about $200.
Well,
What I mean? So,
that's
but
so
that's what
true.
it's all about.
That is so
That's
true.
what it's all
And the
about.
connections, the
And the connection,
connections,
right?
like some of these connections are lifelong people that you connect with at these events,
Right. That's right. That's right.
and that's what I enjoy about it. Not only are we there, because like I said, we can't sell to every single person that walked through that door.
No.
Out of 60 and 70 vendors that you have at an event, there's
Right.
no possible way that one person is going to buy from every single person. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
Right.
So you know that if they don't connect with you right then and there, they will definitely be able to connect with you at a later date.
Right.
So it's very important to at least venture these events. And this I'm talking about for the listeners out there, the ones that are not authors, the ones that are not artists, the readers. That's who
Right.
I'm referring to, because they're the ones who patronize us.
Yes.
And and it's just to let them know, go around to everybody, speak to as many people as you can. And you may not purchase right then and there, but you can definitely connect with them later.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show, telling us a little bit about your author life, your finance and fitness, because that was an interesting topic that I wanted to find out about, the
Okay.
finance and fitness part of it. And and I can't wait to learn more, and also to get your next books.
Right.
But what advice would you give aspiring authors out there, or anyone who is looking to write a book, especially if they're looking to write a book about finance? What advice would you give anyone out there?
Well, if they get ready to write a book about finance, don't do it because I done wrote the book. All right. So, so don't do that. No. But for me, the advice as an educator, the advice is to always ask questions.
Yes.
Ask people that have done it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Okay. If you ask questions, you'll be surprised by asking questions. A lot of people want to, part of what we do is we want to share. We want to share what we know. I mean, we're all that kind of people because we want to feel like somebody wants something that we have. So we always want to share and help people. Okay. And so young authors, new authors, ask people who have done it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give you.
Yes, it is.
Don't hesitate. Ask people about what should I do? How do I do it? How do I get it printed? And you get an editor, somebody's going to edit your work. Let them edit it. Don't take it personal. That's what
Yeah.
I did early. I took it personal early on about you changing my words, you're changing this, that kind of stuff. And she was like, well, if you want it to make sense, I'm gonna change it. But if you don't want it to make sense, I'll leave it in there. Now,
I'll
what do
leave
you
it.
want to do? So, and I mean, so you have to learn. You have to put your pride aside, ask questions, seek the help that you need, and more importantly, at the end of the day, listen to people.
That's
And
right.
then you will find probably success, far greater than you probably can ever imagine if you just ask questions and then ultimately listen to people. And that's
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 so
that's the
true.
biggest advice I can give.
That is the best advice, and I agree 100%, 100%, and
Right.
I thank you for sharing that with us. And I want you to tell us out of your mouth, where can we find your books?
Well, the easiest way to find the book is to either go to my website at www.f4, the number 4, ff.net. You can text me at 856-577-2903. That's my number. You can text me there. I'll get the book right out to you. I mean, you can go to Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, all that stuff, go online and get it too. But if you want a signed copy with a little note from me, then you can go right to my website or text me. And actually, I don't know why I started doing the text, but I can tell you this, the text has created more business for
Yes,
me
it will.
than anything else because people wanted to connect directly with me. So they would text me and say, Derrick, how can I get a book? Got the book, text them, send it off, told them, hey, listen, email me if you need to email me. If you get it, something's wrong, you don't get the book in time, text me back. And that's how I started to build. You can go to my Facebook, you can do all that kind of stuff. But if you text me or go to my website, you'll get it faster and quicker. And then you'll get a personal note from me as well.
Awesome. Well, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. And I want to remind everyone, please, 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 if once you share this video, if they go to YouTube, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you can see some of the old videos, some of the new ones, and this one, of course, because we have to, let people know about these finances and setting you up for retirement and the 401ks and everything that is involved with finance. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Right.
And also next week, next Monday, because this is a bi-weekly show,
Okay.
we'll be having Larry Richardson. He will be attending us on the 21st of March. And he is an author, he's a writer, and he will be joining us once again the 21st of March at 7 p.m. And I just thank you so much once again. And do you have any final words for us before we tune off?
Absolutely. Support the Arts and Authors podcast. Support Kim. Support
Thank
the
you.
extravaganza. Support your local authors. support, just support. That's what it's about. And when you give, it's given in return. So when you give, then you'll get it back tenfold. So
I,
just continue to support people, support Kim, support her work, support her family. And then I think at the end of the day, it'll come back to you tenfold. That's what I
I
can say.
thank you so much. I thank you for everything. And likewise, I hope the same for you too, Derrick. And thank
Absolutely.
you for being with us for so many years and joining us tonight on this podcast, because I mean, I'm just glad I got a chance to dig a little deeper. But I thank you so much. Thank you all for watching and have a very good evening.